All right, so I've been sifting through these two videos, one from Mugen, one from False, with the current updates to the Aster situation. So we're gonna go ahead and break these down, talk about it, and see what we can learn from the situation and how we can move forward potentially. So let's go ahead and check these videos out. First, we're gonna start with Mugen. We're at the midway point. We're gonna go all the way up into the first False video, and then we'll skip to the end because it goes through Quinn. We already talked about Quinn's situation, and we checked out the False video, I think, 2 days ago. So let's go ahead and get started.
December 6th, 2024. That was the day that Falside had published this video titled Exclusive. Nijisanji English VTuber speaks out against Nijisanji English Liver. He had done something unprecedented. A Nijisanji VTuber had reached out to him from within the company to tell him that yes, Aster Arcadia is a serial harasser. This was the same Nijisanji English VTuber who had messaged Raziel and told her, I remember that incident, it was Aster. Also sharing some never-before-seen DMs she had sent Raziel, like, a lot of people waited for you to tell the truth for a while because it had been an issue, so I'm happy you finally did. Do not worry about those that are sending hate. This truth in the long run will help so many people. He then shared messages of
I agree. It will save potential victims, and at the same time, it's causing a bunch. It's basically causing a shit show, like, because we don't know how many things have been hid underneath the rug, right? So if anything, Nijisanji will definitely be using Aster as a scapegoat, and we will see what Aster does in return. Because again, remember, Nijisanji didn't do anything about Aster's reports until this stuff started becoming more public. Think about it.
That Nijisanji English VTuber venting back in September about Aster's behavior, saying, when I had a mental breakdown and went to Twitch, it was because Aster was saying like he wants to fly me out to Japan, saying weird sexual shit, sex pesting my friends. I went to management, they wouldn't even speak to him. I was really considering graduating. They were really considering leaving the company over this. But their manager talked them out of it. They then said, because it feels gross to me, like I feel like I'm hiding his behavior because it's not just me, it's many, many girls. A lot of my friends. Also adding that Nijisanji was too scared to take any action because they didn't want more bad PR after everything that had happened this year.
And look what happened when you decided, let's just avoid this PR disaster. You get another PR disaster, and this one is bigger than this one potentially could have been.
This year. The name of this Nijisanji VTuber who is a victim of Aster Arcadia wasn't revealed in this video. Now obviously there were people doubting the source of information, saying why would you want to censor the name? Revealing it would add so much more weight to these accusations. But in order to understand that, we have to, yet again, go back to 4chan. A little while ago, a bunch of different messages leaked on 4chan between that one Nijisanji English VTuber who had reached out to Falside and a handful of their friends. Some of these messages were from that VTuber stream chat, but the majority were from Discord DMs. There were some morbid revelations, like how this VTuber was straight up in debt because Nijisanji had withdrawn all the VTuber model costs and the equipment costs from their salary. So after a long time being there, they still have not gotten a proper salary, barely affording to eat. Truly an incredible company to work at. But what
Bro, like, so many bad things have come out about this company, it's insane.
These logs allow us to do is to cross-reference the messages shown in Falside's video to the messages here. For example, if we take the message he wants to fly me out to Japan, we find it right here following the same timestamp that was shown in the Discord logs in Falside's video. I have no idea who leaked this, but these logs paint a very dark picture about the worries this VTuber had of even revealing this information to the public. Look, the topic of Aster came up multiple times in these conversations, and at some point, one of the friends of this Nijisanji English VTuber wanted them to expose the harassment that they had endured from Aster to the public. They expressed shock when the VTuber was reluctant, saying, I thought they don't fucking fire people? Like I was under the impression it literally can't happen. With the Nijisanji VTuber then saying, if you do something bad enough. The friend said, but you are unironically a victim, fuck them, you did nothing wrong at all, why are we even scared, they treat you like shit, some creep harasses you, you get fired, question mark? Make that make sense. With the VTuber saying, that's why it's 50-50, they either ignore it or fire me. So this Nijisanji English VTuber actually loves being a VTuber and they don't want to get fired. They had to quit their IRL job for this and they don't have anything else they can do at the moment. If Fallside had irresponsibly leaked their name, their identity, then Nijisanji would have terminated them, well, immediately, and Aster would have gotten away with it anyway. It's counterproductive, and this is why I won't leak it either. So look, even with the VTuber wanting to keep their job, the friends of the VTuber...
And that's absolutely true because, like, the fact is, Nijisanji is going to want to use somebody as a scapegoat. So it's either going to be Aster or it's going to be the person that leaked this, right? Preferably, they would want to get rid of the leaker, but if they can't find out who the leaker is, they still need to get rid of somebody as a scapegoat. So, yeah. Sorry for the lag, man. This is...
We're seeing this injustice unfold and they couldn't
Waiting
just
on the
not do
PC.
anything about it. They wanted the Nijisanji VTuber, their friend, to get their justice. This is why they reached out to Fallside. Here we can see a conversation with one of the VTuber's friends and Fallside. This was Fallside's first contact with this group of people. They agreed on a time to call and then went ahead and did it. During the call, the VTuber's friend showed him all the screenshots of the past logs we just saw, of them talking about Aster and the harassment they had to endure for a very long time. The call lasted 1 hour. On November 11th, the Nijisanji English VTuber who was harassed by Aster had reached out to Fallside and added them on Discord, saying, "Hey, thanks for accepting my request. Blank told me he sent you some things and I was wondering if you'd be able to have a call with me." This is referring to the friend of the VTuber that Fallside had called for an hour. And Fallside replied with, "Sure. Not a problem. What time works for you?" This was when the VTuber would reveal to Fallside that Aster had done this not to just them, but to their friends, to multiple people. The VTuber initially thought that maybe he was just bad at communicating, but seeing the fact that he was doing it to so many people at the same time made them understand, okay, no, this guy's actually a creep. And he would vary his creepiness level from person to person. With some people, he would tell them, "Oh man, you should really come to Japan. We could hold hands, sit in the same hotel room, have a great time." And to some others, he would be more inappropriate, mentioning things like how they should be naked together. Additionally, this VTuber had felt really guilty because they had brought one of their IRL friends from outside of Nijisanji to come and play games with them, plus some other friends, and Aster. After a certain period of time, that friend would then also receive inappropriate messages from Aster. The guy was an unapologetic fiend. The VTuber also had shared DMs with Aster. They had streamed League of Legends together, and Aster really didn't like the banter that the VTuber had towards his jungling skills. The reason why this is significant is that due to the style of writing of this message, we can draw a parallel to the style of writing in these messages between Aster and Scarlet. This is simply how he talked. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to slowly come together at this point. Aster was manipulative and he had many different victims to practice his manipulation tactics on. The information provided was already enough to shock the VTubing community to its core. But as you might have guessed, things only got worse from here and escalated further. Aster had debuted alongside two other male VTubers in the iLuna wave. One of those VTubers was Kyo. The thing with Kyo was that he had graduated around the time the Selen controversy was going on. He was done with the company and left in February of 2024 after his final stream. In March, he went independent and became Quinn Bennett, and has been streaming ever since. However, shortly after debuting at Nijisanji, he had created a podcast series with Aster and another VTuber by the name of Ren. The series was short-lived, ending after 2 episodes. But people didn't really think much of it, assuming they were just busy and moved on. However, that all changed recently. Because very shortly after Fallside's video, Quinn tweeted this, saying, "All I'm saying is there's a reason the podcast only lasted 2 episodes."
Yeah, and we talked about this. Because so many things are going on when it comes to the Aster situation. For Quinn to come out and say this, it's irresponsible in a way because it's like, Quinn, you're not there. Like, what's going on right now is very serious. And even he admitted himself, like, he did it because he doesn't like Aster for his own particular reasons. And it's understandable. Yes, you don't like somebody, and then you find out somebody, that same person that you don't like, is doing other things that other people don't like them for. But essentially, you're adding fuel to the fire when you personally don't necessarily have to be involved. especially if you're not going to be involved for the actual cause, which would be the manipulation allegations. And then on top of that, you're adding fuel, but you're not sitting within the fire as well. You're deciding to throw fuel on it and then back away like, oh yeah, I just wanted to say my piece, and then like, oh, it doesn't really have anything to do with me, right? So it's like, it's just very irresponsible. Like, if you want to add something to the situation, you should go in, right? If you are going to do that, you should at least go all the way. Because how are you going to sit and say, yeah, there's a reason why the podcast lasted 2 episodes, but not go into detail? So what happened that made it so you didn't want to do the podcast anymore, right? Because now there's more to a situation, and it's like, why come in and just say some shit and then just not even fully back it up? Because he said himself, like, oh, he just felt petty. He just wanted to add his 2 cents, and that's it. But like, you adding your 2 cents has created something. It's created more of something that we still don't even fully understand, right? Nobody fully understands the situation that's involved, because right now we're looking at Aster, but how deep does this rabbit hole actually go? And we have no idea. We don't know who was the management that was covering up, right? The Nijisanji employee had something to say, but at the same time, they couldn't really. The management didn't do anything about it. So who was the management that decided to not do anything about it? And why did they decide not to do anything about it? Right? There are more questions to this. There are way more questions that allude to this, which is why I'm saying this is this is a situation that's so deep that at this point it's not really about Aster. Aster is more of the straw that broke the camel's back. But if you keep looking at the details of Aster, you see that it is Nijisanji themselves, because I and many other people in my community have already come to the consensus when it comes to Nijisanji. If they want to be better, which they say they have wanted to do with their past statements, we will do better, then they need to actually take steps to become better, which would be to investigate. But remember earlier in this video, they said that Nijisanji didn't want to touch the situation because they didn't want to have a PR issue. So you purposefully avoiding a PR issue, which would have solved your problem, that is called accountability. You would have sure had a PR issue, but you would have shown that you are taking accountability for the actions of your talents. But instead, you are sweeping it under the rug because you want to avoid a PR disaster. But you avoiding this PR disaster is worse than the PR disaster if you would have taken accountability, because at least you would have had that caveat of saying, hey, at least we are trying to stop the issues that are going on in our company. Now we don't have that at all. Now it's just Nijisanji doing more Black company stuff. So where does that lead us? Into more questions about the company itself. Why is this company still functioning? Why is this company still doing the things that it's doing? Why is this company harboring people that do bad things to other people? Why do they let this happen? Because they want to keep a publicly positive brand image. How can you do such a thing if you're not willing to actually stop the bad people that are in your company? It doesn't make sense. All they're trying to do is have a mask on that says, we're fine, we're nice. But underneath that mask, it's the fucking devil, right? It is literally evil. And if you're not willing to clean up, because it's not like it's black and white, good and evil, right? Good and evil is very subjective. But in the process of wanting to clean up your shadows and to clean up the evil and clean up the misfortune and bad deeds you have created on this earth, you essentially are cleaning yourself up. You are giving yourself a better image. So even though we have the past mistakes that you have made, as a man, if you're going to sit and say, yes, we made these mistakes and we are fixing it, we are going to fix it by actually enacting actions to fix the company, more people would say, damn, maybe Nijisanji is actually trying something different. Because yes, there have been companies that came out and did terrible things, but then they brought back their good faith by doing good things. Sony from PlayStation, they did a lot of shitty stuff when it came to the PS3. Then they cleaned it up with the PS4, and now they're fucking it up with the PS5. Xbox, they cleaned it up with the Xbox. They fucked it up with the Xbox. The Xbox 360 was good, but the Xbox One, when it came with Kinect, and people were like, "Oh, the government's going to use the Kinect to spy on you because you cannot you cannot play the game without the Kinect." Right. And they were like, oh, we can't take it out the Xbox. Sorry, the Kinect and the camera, that stays 24/7. And then people didn't buy the Xbox. So what did they do? They cleaned up their image. And now all of a sudden, oh, we can turn off the Xbox Connect. Oh, you guys can buy the Xbox One without worrying about the Connect spying on you from the living room, right? Because there are literally bad things people are willing to do because they're just scummy people. But yes, they can clean up the image and maybe look better, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessary that they will do better, which is what we are seeing with Nijisanji. They aren't necessarily going to do better. They just say they're going to do better, but they haven't implemented any actions to actually prove that they're willing to do better. So what is it that's hiding underneath all of this this darkness in Nijisanji? We have no idea. But apparently, hey, like I always say, whatever happens in the dark will eventually come to the light. And it's not like even when that darkness comes to the light, it's not like life is over. Like, yes, a lot of people are probably going to damn you and be like, you're terrible. You could still fix it because every single person on this planet has skeletons in their closets. You just need to be able to sit and face that reality that, hey, I messed up, but I want to become better. And with you doing that, you will eventually become better. But that always takes each and every individual to do some introspection. Hit the like button, bro. I'm cooking.
The fact that Nijisanji put out a statement fairly quickly about this, saying, "Thank you for your continued support of Nijisanji and Nijisanji Ien. Regarding the recent controversy, AnyColor has determined the following course of action. We have initiated an independent third-party investigation into these issues and will share the outcome with our livers and our community. This investigation will focus on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties and will include a thorough review of company policies and their implementation."
Basically, they're gonna check out Aster and they're gonna check out the person that leaked this shit, which does not solve the actual issue inside Nijisanji. This is literally putting a bandage on a gunshot wound and calling it a day.
Based on the outcome of this investigation, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken and updated policies will be shared with our livers and our community. AnyColor is committed to a safe and community-focused environment free from any type of inappropriate behavior. For all inquiries related to this matter, please contact AnyColor Inc.
Remember, they decided to add this. We are committed to a safe and community-focused environment free from any type of inappropriate behavior. So if there's any inappropriate behavior in the future of Nijisanji coming from the top, that means CEO or anything with a 3-letter whatever, CEO, CFO, COO, if any of those people are caught doing things inappropriately, they are lying because they said themselves, and this has a Twitter date, right? December 9th, 2024. Anytime henceforward, if any of this shit happens, at a higher level, that's where the issue is. That's where the corruption is. That's where the darkness is, at the very top. How can you expect to clean stuff up from a talent level if the CEO, CFO, whatever, 3-letter, whatever, if those are the actual bad people? How do you expect to fix it? You can't. You'd have to get rid of them. You'd have to take them out of the company. But people with power, they like to keep power, right? Hey, open your mind. Open your mind.
Typically, when a corporation says a third-party investigation will take place, it doesn't really mean much. If you guys remember, that's what Mr. Beast did with his own company and found himself not guilty.
Oh, that's wild.
What worries me here is that not only will they focus on issues of sexual harassment, but they'll also focus on unauthorized information leakage to outside parties.
You know what makes this even scarier, right? Because this is supposed to be a third-party investigation. A third party means somebody not within Nijisanji. But that does not mean Nijisanji doesn't know who they are, right? So if they hired somebody, but that person is friends with whoever inside the company, expect them to say, yeah, we didn't find anything. Hey, it happens all the time. Literally, we saw another example with Mr. Beast. This shit is crazy, bro.
Which tells me they're probably going to focus on the VTuber who leaked this information rather than Aster Arcadia. We'll see what happens, I guess, but I'm not very optimistic. I can guarantee you though that behind the scenes right now, it is an absolute mess at Nijisanji. After Falside's video had released, Aster immediately set his chat on his channel to subscribers only mode. You need to have been subscribed for at least 24 hours before you can even send messages. He then posted this in his stream chat saying, "I will have to postpone the cooking stream, sorry, missing some stuff and setup is complicated, thanks for your understanding. It's currently been delayed by around a week." So he's very well aware of it. Nijisanji has told us that they are aware of this too now. What happens remains to be seen, but there's clear favoritism in Nijisanji. We know this by now. So I'm not very optimistic, but hey, I just hope that the people he harassed can get their peace. If something else happens, I will keep you updated though. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate it. See you in the next video. Mwah.
All right, so that was Mujin. Stop kissing me, weirdo. Thoughts on flying to Japan? Flying to Japan. Okay, here is the other video. We're gonna check out some of this from False.
Where is he? That is the question many are asking in regards to
where is she? Like Batman.
The Aster Arcadia of Nijisanji English. The subject of our last video, in which an anonymous Nijisanji English liver had reached out to us here at TVS and alleged that Aster Arcadia has committed harassment both within and outside of the agency, targeting even indie and smaller agency VTubers. The release of this video leading to numerous threats against my life and also dox threats. Aster Arcadia originally intending to stream the same day as the release of that video, but later telling his chat, I will have to postpone the cooking stream. Sorry. Missing some stuff and setup is complicated. Thanks for your understanding. That being this stream entitled My First Cooking Stream Plus Special Announcement. The stream initially being delayed an entire week to December 12th, but as of last night being pushed back even further, a full 8 weeks out to Thursday.
8 weeks out, 52 days, bro. Talk about waiting for the storm to blow over.
January 30th of next year. Many suspecting that special announcement from Aster being for his 3D debut. This based off the fact that a week earlier, Scarlett Yonaguni of his same wave within Nijisanji English had announced her 3D debut, which was performed this past weekend. Aster having since missed not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 streams, all scheduled one day after the next, and leaving fans only with older videos such as this one. However, as of last night at this time, Nijisanji English has now made a statement. Reading, regarding the recent controversy, Any Color has determined the
fast forward a little bit. Oh, never
these
mind.
issues, and we'll share the outcome with our livers and our community. This investigation will focus on the issues of sexual harassment and unauthorized information leakage to outside parties, and will include a thorough review of company policies and their implementation. Based on the outcome of this investigation, appropriate disciplinary actions will be taken, and updated policies will be shared with our livers and our community. Any Color is committed to a safe and community-focused environment free from any type of inappropriate behavior. And once again, repeating this part of the statement, this investigation will focus on the issues of sexual harassment and, as in addition to, unauthorized information leakage to outside parties. And once again, to reiterate, the anonymous Nijisanji liver had tried to speak to Nijisanji regarding this issue about Aster Arcadia, but no actions were taken. This anonymous Nijisanji liver later reaching out to us and
I mean, if they've already reached out, then that means Nijisanji has a paper trail and they know who leaked it.
Speaking on that matter, this all bringing us over to a talking chair, expert armchair, saying had Nijisanji simply stated that they were investigating allegations of internal sexual harassment, this would have been an easy PR win. Them throwing in that they're investigating leaks, while permitted in an environment that perpetuates that neglect necessary to facilitate said harassment, has now turned this entire thing into a double-edged sword. If you're going to address the public, prioritize their concerns above your own. No one cares that Nijisanji English might have leaks, because the overwhelming majority of people watching are convinced that this issue would never have even been acknowledged without them. At best, declaring that you're investigating the leaks comes off as tone deaf. At worst, depending on the outcome of the investigation, it can easily be believed that the declaration that you're investigating the allegations of harassment are only designed to act as cover for the company's real concern, enforcing secrecy. To any other companies and or staff watching this mess unfold,
exactly, enforcing secrecy.
Do not make this mistake. It's not worth it. Nijisanji English earlier in the month releasing this with Aster nearly front and center, that being new holiday theme merch for 2024, and only
someone save Rosamy and Anna.
Only 7 hours after the announcement of this investigation, tweeting out this resale of their Winter Date 2023 voice packs. Aster Arcadia also present right here, and also presented in the main graphic for these voice packs. Aster's voice packs still on sale for $10 US combined. That's all while before that statement from Nijisanji.
Oh yeah, he's hiding. But you could still buy his merch, of course.
After the release of our video on Thursday,
we talked about this
Friday, Quinn Bennett would tweet out, all I'm saying is there's a reason the podcast.
So yeah, I just want to check out this part. We talked about Quinn's part, and we talked about VV and VV's situation as well. Sunny and I can't remember his name. Formerly Hex Haywire. They were supposed to graduate at the same time. Like, that's what Nijisanji wanted them to do because, like, I'm pretty sure it's a hassle to try and graduate so many people left and right, one after the other. But they decided not to do a duo graduation. They decided to graduate on their own terms. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to cover when it comes to the current situation, when it comes to Aster and Nijisanji. Definitely check out Mujin and False's video, links in the description. And again, like, there's a lot when it comes to the bad and the evil and the the not good things that Nijisanji has done. And we've already talked about how they could fix it if they decided to take honest accountability, right? And they don't care about that. They want to, like, that's how, even though 100% you cannot say, oh, the bad stuff is happening at the top, for them to add that they're also going to cover people that has leaked bad things, they're going after whistleblowers. Governments have gone after whistleblowers all the time because the people that they're whistleblowing are the people at the top, right? But correlation does not equal causation. So remember this always. Just because it correlates, right? Just because the military, the government, and all these other people have done bad stuff at the top, and then the people that are whistleblowed are then gone after and then executed, that does not necessarily mean Nijisanji would do the same thing, because correlation does not equals causations. It just means that, damn, this shit is pretty coincidental, but I don't believe in coincidences. So paradox, catch 22, open your minds. At the end of the day, yeah, there are going to be bad people that do bad things. And if you're not willing to open up your mind to understand that you may be supporting such bad things, well, then you are probably part of the problem. And honestly, being part of the problem, that's just normal, right? It's normal to be part of the problem, but where does the problem originate from? Where does the problem stem from, right? There's many originations of where these bad things come from, but we're going to keep it grounded in the 3D plane of existence and only focus on the company, right? Obviously, there's some bad things going on in the company and the people need to be replaced. Will they be replaced? I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. But that's where you guys come in as individuals and you stop supporting them. Even though that means, unfortunately, supporting your favorite VTubers. You watching the other VTubers keeps these terrible people in power. And all you can really do is support those talents when they eventually leave. That is the best course of action when it comes to you talk about you want to see change. That is how you change it. You stop supporting the real evil. And then when those talents leave because they either have to leave because the company shuts down, or they graduate because they want to leave, or they get terminated because maybe they leak something. And then, oh, turns out the people that don't want it to be leaked decides to kick them out. That's when you support them. That's when you support the talent. That's when you give your energy into somebody else, not while they're working for the bad guy. Remember, good and bad is subjective. So if you don't agree, that's okay. That's all perspective and perception. Perception is reality. What you think to be real in this world is how it works. Anyways, it's your boy KhunShawn, and hopefully some good things will come to light. And remember, good is subjective. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.